Today I am going to go through the PowerPoint that we went through in class to look at how to conjugate an AR verb. So first they tell us that we're going to conjugate some verbs that end in AR. So this lesson is specific to only those AR verbs, not those ER or IR verbs. So the first thing that we need to do to conjugate a verb is we need to know the subject pronoun, or who we're talking about, or who the verb has to agree with. So looking through all the subject pronouns we learned, we did these first semester. Yo is I, tu is you, el, he, ella, she, usted, you, formal. Remember, these are all singular in this column. Then when we move to the right column, these are all of our plural subject pronouns. So we have nosotros or nosotras, which is we. Vosotros, you all. We could also say vosotras. So remember, this is only used in Spain. Ellos, ellas, and ustedes. Looking at some of those AR verbs, we've learned that we have three types of verbs, AR, ER, and IR. So the AR verbs that we have always end in AR. So for example, we have andar, hablar, llegar, or contestar. So andar to walk, hablar to speak, llegar to arrive, or contestar to answer. These are all infinitives. Why are they called infinitives? Because they haven't been conjugated yet. That's what we're learning how to do today. No subject has been identified, and they all mean to do something. So how do we conjugate AR verbs? Let's take a look here. So we're going to follow a few steps. First, we have to start with the infinitive verbs. So we said that's whatever is ending in that AR, and it means to do something. Then we'll take off the AR from the end of the verb, so we only have what's left, and that's called the stem of the verb. Then we want to add the appropriate ending according to the subject or the subject pronouns that we just looked at. So these are always the ending for regular AR verbs. So yo, they will always end in o. Tu, as. El, ella, usted, a. They all have the same ending, that a, even though it's three different subjects. Nosotros, amos. Vosotros, ais, and make sure you include that accent over the a. Ellos, ellas, ustedes, an. So let's take a look at a few examples. An example. So to say to I take in Spanish, so the first thing that we have to do is start with tomar, that infinitive verb for to take. We know this is an infinitive because it has the AR at the end and it hasn't been conjugated yet. Our next step, so here's our infinitive verb, tomar. Then we need to drop the AR. So that all that means is we're removing the A and the R from the end of this verb. There it goes. Then we need to add the correct subject pronoun and ending. So I'm looking and it says I take. I need to figure out which subject pronouns means I. I know that's yo. So I add that O to the end of tomar and I have yo tomo. Yo tomo apuntes en clase. I take notes in class, or I am taking notes. Let's look at one more example. To say he washes in Spanish, our infinitive verb for to wash is lavar. So my next step, do you remember what it is? I need to take off that AR, so I have lav, and that's what's left. And to say he washes now, I need to find which subject pronouns means he. I know it's el, so the L ending for AR verbs is always a. So el lava would be my correct translation. El lava el carro. Okay, last example. So to say we speak in Spanish, we start with our infinitive verb, or hablar. We take off the AR. And to say we speak, I know nosotros is my subject pronoun. I add nosotros hablamos. And that's how I conjugate regular AR verbs. If you have any questions, make sure you see me in class. Here's one more example with hablar, and you guys can just take a look at all of these conjugations and see if it all makes sense to you. Have a great day. Adios.